Right now, oil executives are gathering at the White House for a meeting with President Trump and members of his cabinet. This meeting is expected to focus on tapping into Venezuela's massive oil reserves after the capture and arrest of former President Maduro. President Trump teasing this meeting on Truth Social today, saying at least $100 billion will be invested by big oil, after he says he called off a second wave of attacks on Venezuela since they are working well with the U.S. The administration is hoping to frame the operation in Venezuela as following Trump's America First agenda to drive down oil prices to make gas cheaper for millions of Americans. NewsNation's Libbey Dean is live at the White House with more. So, Libbey, this all comes as we are now learning the U.S. has seized yet another oil tanker in the Caribbean.
Yeah, Nichole, and the U.S. currently has that blockade on these sanctioned oil tankers. So this is likely not the last time we see all of this play out in the Caribbean. But this all happened this morning in the early hours in the Caribbean. We saw those U.S. forces board that oil tanker. And this is the third oil tanker this week that the U.S. has seized, bringing the total to 5 seizures so far. Now, the Department of Homeland Security Secretary claimed that the vessel called the Olena is a ghost fleet tanker ship suspected of carrying embargoed oil, and it departed Venezuela attempting to evade U.S. forces. Today's seizure actually comes after this major confrontation on Wednesday, when after nearly 2 weeks of the Coast Guard tailing this oil vessel called the Bella 1, the U.S. ultimately boarded that vessel, seized the Russian-flagged oil tanker a day after we saw Russia actually send submarines to escort that tanker. And the ship seized today was actually sanctioned by the U.S. previously for its role in transporting Russian oil. So it's likely these tensions are on the rise here with Moscow, given this new seizure this morning and the one on Wednesday earlier this week, Nichole.
All right, so Libbey, what are you learning about this meeting in really just a few hours with oil executives?
Yeah, this is all happening soon at the White House here. And Nichole, this really wouldn't be happening if it weren't for the U.S. capturing Maduro and bringing him here to the U.S., because the president now wants to welcome those oil and gas executives in an hour and a half to talk about the plans to have these companies, these oil companies, revamp and restructure Venezuela's aging oil infrastructure. And what the president is going to do is ask those companies to invest billions of dollars to really fix what is happening on the ground in Venezuela with their oil. And some of the top oil companies in America, they'll be at this meeting, including Chevron, Exxon, ConocoPhillips, Shell, 17 companies in total represented in this Oval Office meeting this afternoon. So it's going to be a packed room in there. But the companies, we do know that they remain skeptical of the Trump administration's plan here. And what they're asking for is these assurances from the White House that any Americans, and specifically those employees of those oil companies who would ultimately be sent to Venezuela, that they'll be safe, given, of course, the current political state on the ground in Venezuela after that operation to capture Maduro. And actually new this morning, President Trump announced that he's canceling this second wave of strikes on Venezuela as the country begins releasing political prisoners, including those from the opposition as well. Now, the president posting that the U.S. and Venezuela, they're working well together on rebuilding and modernizing their oil and gas infrastructure. And because of that cooperation, the president says he's now canceled the previously expected second wave of attacks, but adding all ships will stay in place for safety and security purposes. Now, today's meeting also comes as a U.S. delegation actually traveled to Venezuela today. This is the first delegation, Nichole, to travel to Venezuela since we saw Maduro's capture. And we know the vice president here at the White House says that nearly every other day, the White House and the vice president, they're holding these meetings about what comes next in Venezuela, but going to be keeping a close eye on this meeting with oil execs, and we'll see what the president has to say, and if ultimately that might open to the press. We'll see, Nichole.
We will see. All right, Libbey, thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.